Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright folks, so Saturday is the day that the man Daniel Jones is going to be making his return to football. I think he got hurt last October, sometime in October, the beginning of October, I'm pretty sure, and hasn't played since then. Obviously rehab fast, got back fast, was ready in OTAs, was ready to go, and they held him back, and then started off training camp completely healthy. So you can say what you want to say about Daniel Jones, but as far as healing, he's got us all beat right there. I mean, the guy's back from an ACL, and you see him running around in practice. He looks completely fresh. He doesn't look like he ever tore anything, and some people are saying he looks faster. So that is something that's something that stands out, because I was expecting him to be a guy that may miss, some preseason games, may miss a week or two of the regular season, and he's back. I mean, pretty much in normal capacity, he's back. So what am I looking for Daniel Jones to do this upcoming Saturday? I think it's really simple. First off, it's preseason. If he makes mistakes here, this will be his first game in a very long time. So I'm not really paying deep attention to that. But let's take a look here. He's been really confident in training camp. He's been really confident against the Lions. He's, again, been running. He's been moving kind of freely. There's been a lot of confidence there. And usually the biggest hurdle for guys to overcome when they're coming back from an ACL is the confidence. Can I put my pressure? Can I put my weight on this knee? Can I trust my knee not to buckle again? So that is going to be a hurdle. He says he's not worried about it. He says he doesn't think about it. But it's a different story when you're in that football game and you got somebody running at you full speed, Quentin Williams coming down the middle of the line of scrimmage, and you have to figure out what you want to do. That is going to be something I'm paying attention. Does he fully trust that knee? I'm assuming he doesn't, but how much does he trust it? Is it close to full? We'll find out. So that's something that, although he says he doesn't think about, he's got to be thinking about. And if he's not thinking about it, I mean, he's just built different. He's built different, because I haven't seen one person that's come back from an ACL besides Adrian Peterson that just had no care, no worry about what that knee was going to do. Next up, I want to see how he looks throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors, throwing the ball to Jalen Hyatt. I know he can get the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson. We've seen that in the past. We saw them kind of have a back and forth kind of game where, Wan'Dale is catching those short passes, catching those intermediate passes. But how's Hyatt going to look, first off? And is he going to be able to get Hyatt the ball consistently down the field? And of course, I mean on those deep, go balls. But of course, on some of these post routes, on some of these routes that are 30 yards downfield, 20 yards downfield, and then Malik Neighbors. We've seen the chemistry with Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones develop. It started off kind of, you didn't really notice Malik was at practice. And then as they started to get more comfortable, training camp started to heat up, Malik Neighbors is making catch after catch after catch. He's been targeted over and over and over again. Against Detroit in 2 days, he got targeted 17, 18 times. So it's obvious that he feels comfortable throwing to Malik, but how will that connection look when there's live action going on, when it's a live game? Is he going to still be able to get Malik the same amount of balls? Because in practice last year, he was throwing it to Darren Waller back and forth over and over again. Darren Waller was always open. He was always getting him the ball. But when those games started, especially the regular season, we didn't see that same level of, we just didn't see it. We didn't see him getting the ball to Darren Waller the same. So how is he going to look throwing Malik Neighbors the ball? And then again, how is he going to look when Jalen Hyatt's open deep? It's going to happen one time a game, pretty much. Is he going to be able to hit that? Because we saw at the beginning of training camp, Daniel Jones was underthrowing, overthrowing Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt. And we were all saying, can you just hit him in stride? And now he's hitting them. He's hitting them in stride. He got their speed down. He understands how fast they're running. So he's doing that. So next up, can you do it in a game if the opportunity is there? If not, it is what it is. But how's that chemistry look with those two guys who I think are going to be our two most explosive receivers for this year? And then third, is he going to take off and run? If there is nothing there, again, coming off the ACL, is he going to take off and run with the football? Because first off, it's preseason, so you can't knock him for not running. And second of all, he's coming off the injury. So is he going to be willing, because he's done it in the past, willing to take off, run the football, and pick up a first down? Is that going to happen? And then is he going to finally slide? Is he going to learn how to slide now that this has happened? And can he even slide without hurting himself? Because Eli, he had the worst slides. Daniel Jones' slides are better, but we don't want these guys hurting themselves sliding. So how does that whole thing look if he takes off and runs? And then will he be protected? Will the offensive line, him calling the protections, the center calling the protections, will they be able to protect Daniel Jones? And how will he navigate this pocket? Does he have that chemistry? We know he got the chemistry with Andrew Thomas. Don't have to worry about that. But what about that chemistry with the right tackle? Does he know where to step? Does he know where to maneuver? So that's something that they're going to all have to figure out together. And I want to see how that starting offensive line protects Daniel Jones, because that's been, obviously, last year it was horrible. It was like the worst protection I've ever seen. So can all four of these things happen? If we get checks and positives for all four of these boxes, I'm feeling really good going into week one, especially going against the Vikings, who are sadly kind of getting decimated. Jordan Addison went out, came back. So we don't know if he's going to be playing or not. I'm happy that Jordan Addison isn't out for the season, but this should be a winnable game week one against Sam Darnold. So again, if these four boxes check off, I'm feeling really good going into that first game. Some other things I wanted to kind of talk about quickly on the defensive side. We all are waiting for the same thing. We want to see Brian Burns. We want to see Dexter Lawrence. We want to see Kayvon Thibodeau. All three of those guys out there on the field. Hopefully, they may not play Dex. They may not play these guys, but I hope they do. And if they do, I want to see sacks. I want to see sacks. I want to see quarterback hits. I want to see pressures. I just want to see it because I believe that this Jets offensive line is not very good. Who knows if Aaron Rodgers will even play? Not the Jets. So I'm completely. I said Quentin Williams earlier. We're playing the Texans, folks. We're not playing the Jets. And I'm sure there might be some comments down there, but we're playing the Texans. And even the Texans, I don't think the Texans offensive line is like a world-beating all-star offensive line. They've gotten much better than they were, but they still got some stuff to do. Laramie Tunsil is going to be a guy that's out there we're going to have to pay attention to. But I want to see Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Dexter Lawrence establish the line of scrimmage from the start of them playing to the end of them playing, and I think they can do it. So that's all I really have for you folks. I really hope that we get to see some of our best players play well in this Saturday game. I want everybody on that football field, no matter what team, to come back home with the same state as far as their body conditioning and everything. I want everything to be normal. I want everything to be the same as everybody walked in there with. As a preseason game, you never want to see anything crazy happen. And again, that's all I have, folks. I'm looking a lot to see what Daniel Jones is going to be doing, what his mentality is going to be going into this game. And I really want to see that front four or front three get some pressure starting off the season. So you guys let me know what you're checking for in this first preseason game where you'll see some starters. And see you after the game on Saturday. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily. And during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.